we learned that Diana's family was murdered when she came back to the human world to try and convince the boys to come back to the demon world. So yeah, that's fun. So yeah, let's see what happens. I'm still fully convinced that this baby is Diana's little sister who was murdered. I'm fully convinced, or at least the spirit that's trapped in our body. But I'm still convinced that it's a baby. So, let's jump right in.
I know it's not your fault.
But I still almost hurt you this morning. My guilt consumed me as I buried my face in Eric's chest. Eric, in reply, ran his hand over my head and held me close. I was upset, and I had every reason to be. I could only hope that the spirit would be taken out soon. The morning was filled with concern as Diana had gathered us into the war room urgently. Apparently, she had found a way to expel the spirit from my body.
Are you sure this will work?
Indeed, this ritual is highly dangerous, but it should permanently sever the ties the spirit has on her body.
What do you need for this ritual? Is there a way to make it not as dangerous?
I've already looked into finding a safer method. The price for it is sadly too high to justify.
What is the price, then?
Let me deal with it when it comes. For now, we must prepare. Training today will be unnecessary. We need to prepare everything, and it will take a good majority of the day.
The day?
Indeed. However, once the spirit is severed, we can trap it and see why it was so keen on attaching itself to you.
It's strange. Why would a demon spirit pick a human to latch itself onto?
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get going!
What do we need to do?
You all need to be here in case something goes awry. As for you...
Diana looked to me and gestured to the table, which was cleared save for a small pillow.
Lie down, and I'll prepare the rest.
I nodded and walked to the table. Eric, being the gentleman he was, helped me up onto the surface. I gently leaned back and got comfortable, shifting the pillow beneath my head.
She will lock herself within her mind and speak to the spirit. If the spirit is angered enough, it will take over the body. Basically, we're going to force the spirit to gain complete control of her body.
Oh, great! I instantly sat up as everyone else turned towards Diana in shock.
And why would we want that?
Diana pressed her lips together, seeing the sudden flare of anxious anger around her, before she turned to me.
Once the spirit has full control, then I will perform a spell that will rip it from your body, leaving it open for possession. Being that your soul will still be in the body, you'll regain full control after the fact.
Are we sure about this?
Wait, so what happens if you accidentally pull her soul out?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, Twyla.
That's what makes this spell dangerous. It takes a large amount of energy and will only work if everything goes smoothly. I won't know for sure whose soul I'll be pulling until you wake up.
Ah, oh.
You're not even sure it'll work.
That didn't ease my worries. Diana glared at Damien, who simply gave a cold stare back.
I would not suggest reading my mind again, bastard son.
I mean, he still is the son of... We disowned him. It's not important.
Now's not the time to bicker. We need to make sure this goes smoothly.
Why is James not on screen but talking?
If it goes wrong, the spirit could absorb her soul.
What?
Oh, this sounds fantastic. I suddenly froze in place. The spirit could absorb me? What do you mean? Diana sighed and crossed her arms, pressing her lips together once again. However, her eyes made it clear that she believed this ritual would work.
The spirit within you is a very powerful being, despite it being a child. It is a demon, but we don't know what kind of demon it is. So we have to assume that it is the worst kind. A soul eater.
I'm still fully convinced that it's your little sister. A soul eater.
A very rare breed of demon who feeds on both energy and souls. It doesn't matter what kind of soul it is, as long as it's a soul, it's edible.
They're only as powerful as the souls they absorb, which makes them the worst kind of demon.
Thank you, Twyla, for knowing that.
But didn't they die out long ago?
As I said, we don't know if it is one or not, but we have to assume that it is for safety.
Diana glared daggers into my soul, as if she was trying to glare at the spirit within me instead. Or maybe she wished to instill fear into me. I couldn't tell.
It will offer you power, but if you take it, then it will absorb your soul in exchange.
No.
The wording of its offer will grant the demon full power over your body, making it the owner.
Okay then. Eric gently took my hand and looked at me with more than concern burning in his eyes. He was worried and scared. I'm gonna mentally prepare, because I need to get my crap together. I had to mentally prepare. I closed my eyes and took a few breaths before looking to Diana. I'm ready. Diana nodded as I slowly leaned back and relaxed once again on the table. Eric still held my hand, waiting to be told to let go. Surprisingly, Diana didn't request it of him.
Keep holding her hand. If something happens, you must get into her mind and aid her.
Oh, good. Eric nodded as I did. Diana hovered a hand over my face, my gaze pinned on her palm. What was she doing?
Close your eyes and sleep. This will seem like moments for you, but it will be hours for us.
Fantastic. I nodded and closed my eyes. Almost as soon as I closed my eyes, some sort of energy began to take hold of me. Was this Diana's doing, or the spirit's? My nerves began to tingle, and my body felt as light as a feather. Energy ebbed and flowed through my body, and I felt like I was falling through water. The space around me became thick with calm and almost emptiness. Was this a forced dream?
I know what you want to do.
Finally, the spirit made itself known. The space around me brightened to reveal a patch of forest. The image of my surroundings flickered and swayed slightly, reminding me that this was only an illusion in my head. In the center of the space, however, appeared the spirit in its orb shape. Would I ever see what the spirit actually looked like? I finally walked over and stood before the spirit. We're doing this so you can get out of my body.
But what if I don't want to leave?
I suddenly became afraid. The spirit didn't want to leave. The air became cold as the spirit bobbed up and down in place casually.
In here, I'm safe from the evil man. He can't find me here, and he can't hurt me.
I don't think he's looking for you. But we're going to kill the evil man, but you don't belong in my body, but I've hurt you too. We're going to kill the evil man. The spirit stopped bobbing in the air and pulsed a wave of energy, shaking the forest around us gently.
How can you kill the evil man?
Carefully. We've been preparing to for days. The spirit circled around my form in observation.
I can help you, though. I really, really can.
I'm not listening anymore.
No, listen, I can protect you from being hurt. Really.
The forest began to quake and suddenly shifted to a sight I hadn't seen in a while. My heart suddenly became light as I gazed at the room around me. My room.
My dear.
Suddenly I felt a pair of arms wrap around me. They felt like snakes, slowly sliding around my body, with one across my chest and the other around my waist. Both pressed my back tightly against a warm and somehow familiar body. I felt disgusted by the act, but found no strength to fight back. A head caressed my shoulder. Okay, that makes sense. And the side of my neck with a torturously slow touch.
My sweet, delicious bride-to-be. You'll spoil a demon such as me.
Eric?
I can help you fight him off.
Eric's not the one we really need to fight, though. This was an illusion. This was some sort of trick to make me believe in the spirit. I knew it, but the fear within my body became real as Eric's fingers danced over my body. I didn't want this. A warm glow in my chest began to pulsate as a lavender wave of energy pushed against the arms around me.
What the?
Use my magic! Get him off of you!
Don't use the magic. On its own, the magic in my chest burst forth, forming a barrier around my body and pushing the illusionary Eric away from me. I barely turned in time to see the image fade like dust blown away by wind. Oh, I didn't realize it changed. I never imagined seeing Eric vanish before my eyes, but I became witness to the illusion of it, causing my heart to feel torn. I felt tears collect in my eyes, but my mind became chaotic. What was I doing? Stop it! I knew what was happening. The spirit was trying to somehow... Oh. The spirit was trying to show me an example. I wouldn't let it influence me. My scream echoed and shook the room.
Princess!
The image around me quickly reformed to the forest from before, and I watched as Eric appeared from the brush. The spirit quickly moved to be near my side as Eric glared at the spirit.
That's enough!
No! I won't do it!
Eric's glare could almost kill. As his ethereal tendrils appeared around him, the spirit began to pulse defensively.
Then you leave me no choice.
Eric lunged forward and charged at the spirit, faster than I had ever seen him move. The spirit put up a large barrier around itself, similar to the barrier it had on me when Sero tried to expel it. Eric's tendrils in rapid succession began to jab and slam themselves into the barrier, attempting to break it.
No!
I had to stop this. I didn't want the spirit to get hurt, but I didn't want Eric to get hurt either. Stop it! I ran for them, needing them to stop. The spirit needed to be angry, but not like this.
Princess, stay back!
I won't do it! No!
The barrage continued without mercy.
Listen to me! I can help you! Don't do this!
With each strike Eric threw at the spirit, the barrier quaked and pulsed with energy. Over and over, the sound of magic clashing reverberated through the space we were in, making the imagery around us vibrate. Eric's face hardened into a look of pure determination and anger. He truly wished to help me and protect me. But the spirit was still a child. What was I going to do? We had to make it take control. And I don't want to attack the spirit. I don't want to let Eric keep doing it either. I couldn't step in. I didn't want to hurt the spirit, but enough was enough. Eric was more than willing to help me rid my body of it. I watched as Eric brutally showered the spirit with strikes from his tendrils. The orb kept defending itself, not wanting to die. I soon had to look away, no longer wanting to see anymore. We may have just messed up. As the final blow made impact with the spirit, a rush of bright light engulfed the area. As it did, I felt my form spasm and flicker, causing me to look down at my hands. Through the blinding light, I could see them trembling as they slowly began to turn transparent. What the? I looked up to see Eric rushing for me, panic written all over his face. What was happening? I began to run for him, but felt my body move in the opposite direction, drawing me further away from the one I loved. Eric! Why couldn't I get closer? Soon, Eric vanished from my sight, and I became lost in white light. I felt weightless, and my sense no longer worked. I was trapped. I could only just barely feel myself shed tears from how frightened I was. What was happening?
She's gone.
What?
What happened?
Oh, we did
Eric,
the wrong
where
thing.
is she?
No! Love! Get up! Wake up!
Oh my god.
Damien, the spirit?
Gone too.
No, this can't be! No!
What did the spirit do?
It sacrificed itself and took her with it. That body has no soul. She's...
No!
Well, we just got the bad ending. And if I can't live, you can't either. Well done, me! I'm good at this game. So this time, I'm gonna comfort Eric and see if that gives me a different outcome in my head. Excuse me. Okay. I gently caressed his cheek. I needed to not only comfort myself, but I needed to show Eric that everything would be alright. Sure, there were doubts about this whole ordeal, but I needed to do this. Eric gently held my hand and kissed over my knuckles, slowly calming down. It would be alright. I had to mentally prepare. I closed my eyes. See, I ended up mentally preparing anyway. I'm ready. Diana nodded as slowly leaned back and relaxed once again on the table. Eric still held my hand, waiting to be told to let go. Surprisingly, Diana didn't request it of him.
Keep holding her hand. If something happens, you must get into her mind and aid her.
Eric nodded as I did. Diana hovered a hand over my face, my gaze pinned on her palm. What was she doing?
Close your eyes and sleep. This will seem like moments for you, but it will be hours for us.
I nodded and closed my eyes. Almost as soon as I closed my eyes, some sort of energy began to take hold of me. Was this Diana's doing, or the spirit's? My nerves began to tingle, and my body felt light as a feather. Energy ebbed and flowed through my body, and I felt like I was falling through water. The space around me became thick with calm and almost emptiness. Was this a forced dream?
I know what you want to do.
Finally, the spirit made itself known. The space around me brightened to reveal a patch of forest. The image of my surroundings flickered and swayed slightly, reminding me that this was an illusion in my head. In the center of the space, however, appeared the spirit in its orb shape. Would I ever see what the spirit actually looked like? I finally walked over and stood before the spirit. We're doing this so you can get out of my body.
But what if I don't want to leave?
I suddenly became afraid. The spirit didn't want to leave? The air became cold as the spirit bobbed up and down in place casually.
In here, I'm safe from the evil man. He can't find me here, and he can't hurt me.
I still want to say we're gonna kill the evil man. The spirit stopped bobbing in the air and pulsed a wave of energy, shaking the forest around us gently.
How can you kill the evil man?
We've been preparing for days. The spirit circled around my form in observation.
I can help you, though. I really, really can.
I'm not listening anymore.
No, listen, I can. I can protect you from being hurt. Really.
Yeah, I don't feel like reading all this again.
I can help.
What the?
Use my...
Princess!
The image around me quickly reformed. Eric glared at
That's
the spirit.
enough!
No! I won't do it!
I calmed him down, so I wonder if I'll get different options.
Then you leave me no choice.
Oh, we're attacking anyway.
No.
Okay, so if I attack...
Princess!
I won't do it! Listen to me!
We read all this already. I'll attack and see what happens. I charged forward, I slammed my fist into the barrier, feeling a hot burn against my skin. However, I knew that I wasn't truly injured. The spirit wouldn't dare hurt me like that.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry. Eric increased the speed of his attacks, and soon our barrage on the barrier began to break through as it began to crack and fade with each punch. The spirit started to whimper.
No, please.
My heart felt like whimpering as well. But enough was enough. I had to fix this. With a final attack, Eric and I landed a blow together, smashing through the barrier and impacting the spirit. To my surprise, the attack landed against what felt like a glass orb. As the final blow made impact with the spirit, a rush of bright light engulfed me. As it did, I felt my form spasm and flicker, causing me to look down. Oh, god dang it! So...
I've got you! Don't let go of me!
Yay! I nodded and gripped Eric tightly, feeling something try to pull me away. I shut my eyes, focusing on staying close to Eric, digging my nails into his vest and shirt. I pulled myself against Eric's chest. There we go. My breath felt as if it were trying to escape from my lungs, but Eric gently moved a hand to tilt my head and cover my mouth with his. I felt him breathe and replace the air I had lost, desperate to keep me alive. Was I dying? At last, the pull on me stopped, and the world around us grew dark. The forest was gone. The spirit was gone. We were safe. As Eric pulled away and looked down at me with a small, slow smile, I felt happy and relieved. I had been saved from whatever the spirit tried to do, and I was thankful to him for rescuing me when I needed him. I might have been strong, but being in Eric's arms always made me feel stronger. Eric and I collapsed into each other, closing our eyes and escaping the depths of my mind at last. I wanted to rest a while longer, felt my body slowly come back to life as I awakened, as if from a dream. My eyes were blinded by the light of the room, but slowly adjusted so that I could see everyone staring at me in relief.
She did it.
They did.
We didn't do it the first time, let me tell you.
Oh my stars
Time travel,
and
it's-
garters.
Okay, that's a weird thing to say, but okay. I slowly sat up, rubbing my head and looking around. From everyone's faces, no one had rested. How long had we been out? Long enough to need coffee. As I thought of Eric, I looked to my side to see him slowly rising from his sleep as well, still holding my hand. I smiled, remembering how he had sat by my bedside the day Diana came for him. Nostalgia hit me hard as I pulled Eric gently to me and wrapped my arms around him.
Love?
I'm here, Eric. My heart felt like singing 1,000 songs. This was all too amazing, and I was as joyful as could be. There was no hint of the spirit left within my body, and I could tell that everything was all right. I was free to show Eric how much I loved him. Eric wrapped his arms around me and buried his face in my neck, relieved as well.
I'm so happy.
Me too. Hey, there we go. I ignored the giggles and sighs around us. All I cared about was Eric in that moment. Diana, however, wasn't so subtle in wanting to interrupt our moment. Eric and I looked over at Diana, seeing her exhausted expression. From her eyes, I could tell she had spent a lot of energy, and I was responsible for that. Again.
Glad to see that it worked, and that you two are okay. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must rest.
Diana said nothing more as she turned to leave the room. I stopped her. Diana. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
With that, Diana and the other rebel leaders left the room, leaving the incubi and their wives with us.
Still, we should take some time to do some last-minute training and preparations before heading to bed. We leave first thing in the morning.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty exhausted. I need some more coffee before we do that. Everyone nodded in agreement. I, however, felt the events that had just occurred weigh me down, and I tiredly lowered my head. Hey! Guessed that right. I'll just head to the room if that's all right.
Huh? All right. I'll be there soon.
I nodded and waved to the others before heading towards my room and making my way to the bed that called my name. I finally reached my room and let my body fall into the bed. I let out a sigh of utter pleasure as I felt the cloud-like bed cradle my body on its surface. I was beyond happy. To think this insanity had started with a spirit haunting my body was mind-blowing. How was that even possible? No one would ever believe that, but it happened to me, of all people. Then I was kidnapped and taken to the demon world by the demon lord, trapped here unless he or I died. Another crazy, improbable event that managed to happen. This entire week had become a wild roller coaster ride of excitement that I would have never expected. Still, there was joy to be found in adventure, and my curiosity thanked destiny for letting me experience it. Now, all I wanted was to get home and marry the man I loved. As Eric finally entered the room at last, I smiled and sat up tiredly. Eric chuckled before sitting beside me and wrapping his arms around me.
Are you all right, princess?
Yeah, just tired. We held each other, locked in silence and unable to say anything more. We let the situation we had just gone through sink in, relieved that we were going to be happy from now on together. All we could do in the moment was hold each other and listen to our synchronized heartbeats. As the thought of tomorrow danced in my head, I began to grow fearful. Was I ready to go into battle? Was Eric? Were any of us, for that matter? We were about to walk into the final clash of a world war. Would we survive? Would I live to remain with Eric and feel his embrace again? Tomorrow brought too many questions to think about, and I became frustrated and scared. I'm gonna go with sleep. We would survive. We would be okay. I felt safe in Eric's arms, and I'm sure he felt safe in mine. we would return to the human world and be okay. Eric kissed my forehead, feeling my exhaustion, and we tucked ourselves in, wrapping each other in our arms and escaping one last time to the darkness of slumber. Tomorrow would decide everything. I'm going to stop there, because I get the feeling we are close to the end of this story. I already screwed up once. So, I'm going to end it here, so that way I can screw up again later, because you know it's going to happen. I'm fantastic at it. So, life choices. I'm good at them. Apparently not. Anywho, so we're going to end it here, and we will come back to the beginning of the siege on the Demon Lord's castle. I don't know what's going on with the spirit. Maybe we were just possessed, but I'm still pretty positive that it was Diana's little sister, and that our character is Perganonat. I'm still almost 100% convinced. All we did was just get back in the baby. Stay there. Pretty sure that's all we did. But, I don't know. We'll find out. I'll see you guys later, and remember to do something nice for a stranger today. You may just save a life. Bye!